Today we're gonna take you on a ride with the next generation of Dallara race cars.
Imagine a car that has so much downforce that it could theoretically drive upside down at high speeds. So I was at Sebring doing my radical test for the championship and I found this amazing Dallara team testing the Dallara EXP, the race version of their first ever road legal car, the Dallara Stradale. Amazingly enough, one of their engineers, Alan, knew me and my coaching content. So we got to chat a bit and I was lucky enough to get the chance to get a ride on this amazing car.
I started getting into sim racing a little bit, partly because of my job. I work a lot with the simulator for LMDH class, IndyCar, Indy Lights. And I ran into a couple of your videos. And what I really liked about what you displayed is you were able to explain at a professional level. That's something that sometimes you take for granted. And for events like this, where we're actually working with more, let's say, pro-am drivers, some gentleman drivers, you have to really walk a fine line of how you explain some things so that they can extract something out of it and not just confuse them altogether.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of the ideas that you presented in the videos, in the book, were actually very useful for me as a starting racing sim driver, let's say, but especially to try to convey some of those ideas.
The Dallara EXP is a track tool. This thing is so fast that it can do better lap times than GT3 cars at Mugello. It has 500 horsepower, weighs 2,000 pounds, but produces 2,700 pounds of downforce at top speed, more than its own weight. The top speed is 292 km per hour. Although it looks like a sports car, it behaves pretty much like a single-seater Formula car. Here's what Dallara themselves have to say about their new baby.
I'm Daniele Guarnaccia, program manager in Dallara and program manager of the Dallara XP. That car is a milestone in our history because the XP comes from the Dallara Stradale, the first road homologated car by Dallara, and this is the truck version of this car. We tried doing the Stradale and the XP to synthesize 50 years of motorsport. The aim of this tool, more than a car, is to be a truck tool. We started basically doing a sport prototype car and then Formula 3, and then now we are in all the series in motorsport, from Formula 1 to Le Mans, here in US, of course, with Indies, etc. So we have a lot of experience in open wheel, single seater, and that's, by the way, is one of the characteristics of this car. It looks like a GT or prototype, but it is more, let's say, similar to a single seater for especially the ratio between downforce and weight of the car, and also the way how you need to drive this car. For this reason, it's a synthesis of Gran Turismo car or single seater or Le Mans prototype. It's sort of, let's say, the best of these three things all together in a simple manner.
Where does most of the downforce comes from in the car?
I mean, everything starts from the body shape, because the first trick is to create a shape that it is not lifting. So that's a starting point. Then, of course, the underfloor is a full Le Mans prototype underfloor. There is the big wing, but everything is in coordination with the rear diffuser. So, I mean, it's the entire package that is working all together to create such a level of downforce. I mean, we are at a level of 1.5 times of the weight of the car, the top downforce.
So it could theoretically go upside down.
More than this. I mean, it's 1.5, so it can be even pushed up.
How does it feel like driver to driver when you drive these cars?
I've driven radicals and I've driven open wheel cars, and I guess I just drove 991.2 GT3 Cup car, and just this all throughout this week, and it is the most put together car I've driven in recent history. Acts very similarly to what a radical would be. It's got a lot of power. It's 450 horsepower, and then you can turn it up to quality mode and get a full 500. So it's a lot of fun, and you could definitely lean on the car in those high-speed corners, especially 17-in-1. It's got phenomenal braking capacity. You can really just stand on them. Every time I'm in this thing, it always puts a smile on my face, that's for sure.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's one of the most fun cars I've driven.
Dallara ride-along lap.
I don't know about you guys, but being in the passenger seat of fast racing cars is not necessarily the most comfortable thing you will do in your life. I get frightened, and the feeling that you have absolutely no control while the car is sliding around at hundreds per hour is pretty daunting. But I trust Michael. I mean, the dude is literally an Indy Next driver, so this is actually an opportunity to see what he does on track and learn as much as possible to when I race in this track in a few weeks in my own rally. By the way, if this already looks fast for you, wait until he warms up the tires and actually starts sending it. I love the sound of this car. It's unfortunate that we got so much wind picked up by the cameras that you can't really hear it well. Braking performance of this car is so good that even when I brace for impact, every time Michael hits the brakes, my head kicks forward no matter how hard I try to hold it. Also, we were basically leaving every car on track in the dust. Porsches, GT3s, GT4s, whatever. Here's a commentated lap by Michael himself of the full lap. Enjoy it.
When starting at the front straight, start and finish, going into turn 1, you're braking after the bridge. Well into 6th gear, you downshift into 5th, and you just track out all the way to turn 1. You don't set up, make sure you get the car straight, brake. It's got a lot of torque down low, so you can end up rolling 4th gear through 3, 4, and 5. And it'll take you all the way down through the back straight going to hotel. Then there, it's a heavy braking zone. Stand on these brakes, ABS is phenomenal, and it slows down like a madhouse. It's awesome. Get into the corner, throw some wheel in it, make sure you get up on the curb there, and that curb will help rotate the car phenomenally. Get your hands straight. So you take that in 3rd, accelerate all the way through turn 10, very similar thing to turn 7. Turn 10 is about the same. 3rd gear, attack the entry to the corner, roll as much speed as you can, and then it'll be almost flat through the double left going into the water tower. Water tower is a very similar thing. Get off the brakes. Because it has so much downforce, this car is really capable of just that coast period and really trusting the car and letting it sit to the outside and use all of the lateral grip that you possibly have. 13 is a very good corner in that regard. So that's a 4th gear corner. Get out, like I said, it's got the torque down low and it carries you all the way through Bishop's Bend. You'll do all that through 15, 16, all 4th gear, carry it down to 17. And personally, I haven't pushed 17 at all this week. That's, not my car, right? So I've been really easy in the brake zone, but typically I'm braking after the 3 board, just before the wall juts out before turn 17. Carry the brake a little bit into the corner, let it sit, use all the lateral grip you can possibly can. It's very good over the bumps, eats the bumps, and you just let it track out to the exit. So it's a phenomenal car to drive on this circuit.
Man. Wow.
What do you think?
This car is amazing, man. I mean, the driver also amazing. But yeah, it's so planted. The braking. You were never like really braking hard until you did it. When you actually broke hard,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
It's a lot better than I thought. Like, the beginning was just like, I didn't get to show you anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm like waiting for cars to get out of my way, and then I finally got a piece of clear track, and I'm like, boom. Dude, going down the straightaway, looking, no one's there. Literally a corner later, on their ass. Like.
Yeah. When you sent it in one of the laps, I was not expecting so much braking force into 7. It felt like I got hit in the head. Oh my god! Like you really, you didn't squeeze.
That's downforce for you, man. You can't lock up an initial brake.
2,700 pounds of downforce, that's top speed.
So yeah, I mean, when you're at higher speeds, the downforce is acting as a brake.
You brake like that in the radical at top speed,
Yeah.
I was not braking.
Thank you, Alan, Michael, and Dallara for this amazing experience, and thank you at home for subscribing to this channel and checking out my real-life racing career series this year. See ya! Sim racing is growing more and more, and it's bringing real-life racers and sim racers together. This is making the competition level rise like I've never seen it before. So if you want to become that competitive, the secret is in the driving technique more than equipment. My professional driving technique course, the Motor Racing Checklist, already has over 3,000 drivers, including real-life drivers and professional esport drivers, just so you know how good it is. I made this course after coaching over 2,000 drivers in one-to-one live sessions, and it contains contains all the advanced concepts, techniques, and exercises that I've developed with my students over all these years of coaching. It's perfect for any simulator, racing games, and also for real-life drivers wanting to use a simulator to improve their real-life driving technique. This course is about car handling skills, and the goal is to make you find better lap times and consistency. You will learn how to prevent and induce specific behaviors and learn how to feel them earlier so you can predict what's happening with the car with professional precision. By the way, this course has a money-back guarantee with no questions asked. So if you don't improve, you get your money back. And you can join my Discord to read reviews and ask any questions. Join the course now and I will see you on track.